Good evening and welcome to another video of mine. Today I'm going to be doing a review about how it holds up in 2020. And today I'm going to be reviewing the first ever iPod Touch. As you can see on the back here, it's got the iPod logo, Apple logo, the iPod, 8GB storage. You can kind of see there it's from 2007. Kind of read it down there. Here we see it in the camera. Yeah, you can kind of see it right there. Kind of see it right there. It's from 2007. And of course, up here is your power button. On the side here, don't have any buttons, nor does it have on that side here. Down here you got the headphone jack. Headphone jacks are starting to become obsolete because fewer and fewer phones have them. 30-pin dock connector, that's of course been obsolete since 2012, I think. And here you got the familiar home button. That's not Touch ID, it's just a regular home button. And of course, turn it on. You get the familiar lock screen, you know, with our planet Earth and the time. Now over here it's extremely basic, you know, there's no swipe pages, it's the only page you get. There's no app store, so whatever apps that came pre-installed, that's all you're going to get. Now apparently this iPod is running iPhone OS 1.1.5. It's like a very early version of Apple's mobile operating system. You can also see the year when it was copyrighted. Shows 2008. So apparently 1.1.5, that's actually from 2008. So this iPod apparently was updated. It apparently was updated maybe once or twice at some point in its early lifetime. Even though the first gen iPod Touches do theoretically support up to iOS, I believe 3.1.3, something like that. Even though now as outdated as that, I don't think there'd be any way that I can get that today. So even if I could update this to that, it wouldn't do much good, since even 3.1.3 it does at least include an app store, but it wouldn't do any good, since none of the apps that you'd see on it you can download, since you can't download any apps even if it does have the app store, simply because all the apps will require a higher version of iOS. Even though here I did basically make an internet shortcut. You know, to basically check the weather using the Safari app. And it's a little broken up here. You know, in the tech world, 2008 was a pretty long time ago, so close out some of these. And apparently you can do a Google search too. Like, let's get over here so I can type better. Apple Yeah, at least I can do Google searches, although it's kind of weird how it has that double magnifying glass. It does show a new iPod Touch. Yeah, apparently a lot of the websites, they don't work anymore. Obviously these are some newer gen iPod Touches. 2020. Is Apple still making iPods? It says the first version was released on October 23rd, 2001. About 8.5 months after the Macintosh version of iTunes was released. As of May 28, 2019, only the iPod Touch 7th generation remains in production. So the first ever iPod, not the Touch, just a regular scroll wheel, was released on the 23rd of October 2001. I'd like to say that that's about right at the same time that Microsoft released Windows XP. I remember that Microsoft released Windows XP right at about that same date, or maybe give or take several days. Okay, moving on along to the other apps. You got your settings apps and note apps. Yeah, Notes app still works. Okay, Calculator. Calculator still works. Calculator still works, although it's like a very basic version, because when you turn it like that, apparently it just shows it doesn't convert to a scientific calculator or nothing. You know, it just stays the same basic calculator. In comparison, oh, don't worry, this carpet, ain't nothing happened to this. Still works just fine. It's just my legs a little too rounded. So yeah, the calculator still works, although it's only the basic version. You know, it's not like a scientific calculator or nothing. In comparison, here's my Apple iPhone 5S, which is much newer. In comparison, here's the calculator for that. when I turn it like that, you can see it converts into a more advanced scientific calculator. Where you can put in parentheses. You can do squared, cube, do exponents, and even do like what they call it. I forgot what they call it back in high school. It's sort of like algebra, but maybe like trigonometry, something like that. It's been so long since I was in high school. Haven't been in high school since 2002. But yeah, you turn it up like that and it converts back into the basic calculator. This one is of course, it's just a basic calculator. It don't do anything if you turn it like that. And moving on along, you got the clock. It's basically my time here. It's about 7. Of course, you can set an alarm. It's got the stopwatch. I guess if you're doing laps, you can. And of course, a timer. So, how that works. You got the stocks app. Stocks app seems to work, more or less. I guess for people who's into that kind of thing of buying stocks and whatnot. You got the Maps app. Maps does sort of work. Even though when it says your location cannot be determined, but of course, I can zoom out and apparently this uses Google. See, it's the area of Florida. And of course, that's where I remember going to right here. Santiago de Querétaro. De Querétaro, Mexico. Yo creo que como aquí es, ¿cómo se llama? Santa María los Baños. Donde me quedaba por 1 o 2 semanas. Hace un par de meses. I guess I can sort of kind of find it here. Pia de Gallo. Yes, así es la ciudad. Okay, let's see here, son. Yeah, it looks like it found it. Yeah, back in November, that's where I was staying at, right there. Santa Maria, Los Banos. Sí, Santa Maria, Los Banos, como se llama esa área donde me quedaba por un ratito en noviembre. Como un par de semanas. Sí. Entonces todavía sirven las mapas. No sé si ustedes entienden español, quién sabe. Or moving on along. So the maps does sort of work, even though it can't pinpoint my location. I guess probably because maybe the GPS is so outdated in this thing, or what it may be. Weather app, I remember, it doesn't work. Contacts, it's not a phone, but you can note down people's contacts, their phone numbers and whatnot. The mail app, I wouldn't try to use it. Most likely don't work. Calendar app, calendar of course still works. And there's our leap day right there. Of course, the reason why we have a leap day every 4 years, being this 29th of February, is apparently for this planet Earth to make one complete orbit around the sun. It actually doesn't take 365 days exactly. A year is actually not 365 days exactly, but more like 365 and a quarter. In a quarter days, so because of that extra quarter of a day that it actually takes for a solar year, that would mean that after 4 years we're then one full day behind our solar year. So then, of course, to compensate for that, every 4 years we basically put in the extra day, being that 29th. Okay, moving on along, obviously you got iTunes. iTunes obviously won't work. No. Just says cannot connect to iTunes store. And it just stays blank. Same thing, try to go there, same thing, stays blank. Downloads, nothing. And nothing. I can imagine some time ago, iTunes, it didn't have an app store. However, you can go to iTunes, and I believe if you wanted to purchase music or movies directly from the iTunes store. And apparently back in 2007, 2008, you can basically open this iTunes app on your iPod Touch. And then you can basically search for whatever song you want, or even whatever album you want to buy. And then of course you can buy whatever method of payment you want, and then after that, then it basically downloads those songs. And it basically downloads those songs wherever you buy directly to your iPod Touch. And you basically don't have to worry about connecting it to a computer. Okay, photos. I didn't sync any photos. even though I could do that. I actually do have a couple of songs here. Obviously, you don't hear anything right now because this doesn't have a built-in speaker. Because the first gen didn't have a built-in speaker. So if you want to hear any kind of audio other than just a click sound, you would have to plug in a pair of headphones, or I just so happen to have this dock right here, made for iPod. Something wrong with the digital thing, it stopped working, but I can still get sound through this and, basically play it, stick it right here. It's got the charging port there, so I can just stick it in like that. And I guess I can switch this over to iPod aux. And of course from here, if it's playing, I don't know. It's weird. iPod power off. Oh, I switched to power off, that's why. Okay, now we got it. And this is from the artist called Bass Nectar. It's apparently an electronic, relaxing electronic techno song, whatever you call it. I can also switch tracks here. Of course, these are Christian songs in Spanish.
Cristo, yo te amo. Cristo, yo te amo.
And of course, you can play and pause it here.
No hay nadie como tú.
Next search. It's kind of like here you can use to switch to the next song, or if you hold it down, you can actually use it to fast forward. Kind of fast forward through the song. So that's pretty neat. And here's the volume control. That was one of the jazz songs that came with XP. Same as that. Symphony number 9. Let me find out when that song was made. It's gotta be a long time ago. I'll do it on this iPhone. Okay, let's see here. Symphony No 9. I can pull up some information. Apparently it's from Beethoven, you know, a classic songwriter. Release date. Yeah, that song's very old. Ludwig van Beethoven. Of course, I can repeat it. Yep, so according to here, that song was released back in May 7th, 1824. I'm sure that's pretty long while ago. That song that just now played right there. Yeah, according to here, that song was released back in May 7th, 1824. Wow. So in about 4 more years, it'll be 200 years old. That song will be 200 years old. Here in about 4 more years. It's incredible. Moving on. I think I do also have some videos here. Let's see here. Original iPhone.
Inside, no plastic on the iPhone dock. So, I'm so butthurt right now.
This is a day I've been looking forward to for 2.5 years.
There's no way to turn this around, so I guess...
An iPod. A phone. Are you getting it? These are not 3 separate devices. This is one device, and we are calling it iPhone. Today, Apple is going to reinvent the phone.
Today marks 11 years since the original iPhone was released. Believe me, guys, I honestly, at the very last moment, I wanted to back out. I didn't want to do this. I did not want to unbox the first iPhone for several reasons. One, it is ridiculously expensive, and it is a potential future investment. Within the next 5-10 years, I think it could rise to $20, $30, $40, $50,000 even in this condition. So in this video, despite it all, I will be unboxing the original iPhone, the first one ever made, a very rare version of it too, for that matter, just because I've never done it. It's its 11th year anniversary today. Why the heck not? So here it is, guys. I've got this really beautiful packaging. This is the original bag that it was purchased in as well. And here it is. So if you guys don't know about these, the earliest versions did not have the iTunes logo on the box. And for whatever reason, it was on the right side of the phone. I mean, the icons didn't even work that way. So kind of strange, but this is a very early version. And Let's go ahead and pick it up out of here. The absolute rarest version of this phone is a 4 GB model. Apple made those briefly for, a few months, and then they discontinued them in favor of the 8 and 16 GB models. And this is an 8 GB, so not super rare, but the fact that it's pre-iTunes is very rare.
And there's no
I am
iTunes.
honestly kind of worried about this packaging.
Oh,
So
man.
it looks a bit rough. I personally don't know how the early models were with this. Were they very smooth? Because I know the iPhone 4 that I unboxed yesterday had very clean sealing lines. This one does not. But I will tell you, the reason I believe this to be legitimate is the serial code on the back on Apple's website says it's never been activated. So this website basically says activate the original iPhone, and that's the evidence that it's never been activated. I hope that that stands true and it's never been opened, never been resealed, but beneath the plastic it looks very good, no scuffage. My original version where I got scammed with the $5,300 one, was clearly fake. Beneath the plastic there were scratches, and I'm very much hoping this is legitimate. So you may be wondering, how much did I buy this for and how much is it worth? I got a steal of a deal on this. I actually bid it up on auction, and the actual video, I recorded it, it was pretty low, so I got interested. Towards the last few minutes, it ballooned in price, and it went from like the mid-thousands quickly to $3,300, $3,350. That's how much I got it for, and that is unbelievable. These things
That's
go
still
for up
incredibly
to $20,000. I've seen them go for more even, and depending
I
on
think
what
this
model it
iPod
is, if it's
Touch, I
the 4
think I only
gigabyte
paid
models are
maybe
worth
about
way more just because
$20
of how early they are.
at the
I'm so nervous.
most.
I'm just going to be honest. I'm nervous. I never had the opportunity to even. I was too young. It was very expensive. At the time, it was $500 for the 4 gigabyte model and $600 for the 8s, and respectively, that's about $600 and $720 in today's dollars, which is very expensive. But for what it got, the revolutionary product, it was a steal of a deal. People were camping outside.
And of course, as you can see
this
here,
thing brought
this
so many
iPod
revolutions to
dock,
the world of smartphones. And Apple's
you
actual
can carry it like
tagline
a
was
boom
Apple
box.
reinvents the phone, and this is only the
And
beginning.
down here it has
Actually,
where you
going
can
back to look at the website,
install like 8C
2022, such an
batteries,
old
if you want
style. 11 years ago, it
carry it
seems like a
with
very
you,
long
and
time, but that time
it
just
basically
flew by. I
converts
remember
this
the first
iPod
time I heard
into
about this thing on the
a
bus.
boom box.
I couldn't imagine a smartphone that you can touch with several
Here's a
fingers at once at
LCD
a time. The
display, but
display
it seemed to
sucked.
quit working,
But
only the light
I'm just
works.
delaying the inevitable. Let's go ahead and open this. I'm going to get the knife. All right, and here we go.
At least sound
Flip
still
this
works.
over and make a very delicate incision here. I'm losing almost all value on this thing. It's still going to be worth a good amount, a matching box and phone inside after.
Of course, it also has a radio too.
On hold, get yours Tuesday morning at K-Rock.
Of course, it's
originally sealed iPhone.
back to
And
the
the thing that makes this expensive, what makes it worth it is that it was Steve Jobs' first phone.
It does put
it
out a
started
lot
a
of sound
revolution in
still.
smartphones. And of course, being the first one and being so old, that adds value to it as well. So, you could say that it's almost worth that money. If you hold it in a museum or collection, it's only going to appreciate. Ooh, this even feels different. It's got a old style crinkle to it. Okay, fingers crossed that I didn't get scammed here. Ooh, that opens very easy. It's suspiciously easy. And you guessed it, this is a reseal.
A reseal? Oh man!
That's funny. I was so excited about this too. So I paid $3,350 for an iPhone that's been resealed very clearly. Once again, I get scammed. I knew this was too good to be true. So the good news with this one is it was pretty recent, so I should be able to get in contact with eBay and get my money back. Hopefully.
Man,
In the back of my mind,
I feel
honestly,
bad
I
for
thought
him
that
right
it would
there,
be
but
sealed. It's too good to be
I
true,
guess
that price.
I guess if he has
I
a
feel
lot of
so
money
dumb
to
right
blow
now.
away, then I
Why
guess
can't I get an original real one? I mean, the whole premise is people don't believe you'll go and open the phone. They think that you'll just put it in your collection and they're going to get away with their scam. Well, not you, scammer, not you.
not you, scammer, not you.
I'm so butthurt right now. One day I'll finally open one, real one, or order one. inside, no plastic on the iPhone dock. I mean, without question, that is resealed. Yeah, I'm glad I opened it now. Like, if I just held on to this waiting for it to appreciate, that would have been bad. Way worse in the future. Oh, cool. This one at least comes with the little microfiber towel.
Apparently there's gotta be a way, I guess, if you had some kind of special equipment, you know how you can examine the inside of it without actually opening it.
I'm literally, right after this video, I'm going to go and start a claim on eBay. Why do people do this? Okay, let's see just for the heck of it what version this is on. And by the way, let's see if it even matches the box. So this is serial code 857. This one is 7R7. So somehow they got a box of an unactivated one with the original iTunes logo missing, or is this a recreation? It looks very original, and I've seen many of these. This looks quite original. So they just switched up the phones inside. All right, you must think I'm an idiot at this point, and I would have to agree. I mean, I'm just trying to do something that I've never done before, and people keep tripping me up. Seriously. I'm going to charge this up and be right back, just for the kicks of it. Let's see what it's running. Seriously, screw people that do this. Basically, my case against them is that all of the packaging is clearly...
That's pretty cool there. He gave him the middle finger.
I mean,
that's pretty cool.
It's been repackaged. So I'm hoping that eBay sides with me on this, which they should. Last time they did. I'm so angry. Seriously, screw the trouble I have to go through, and if they even scam successfully other people, screw them for that too. By the way, AT&T's network is down for the iPhone, so I've heard that there's trouble with even activating it. We'll see if that's going to be possible here. Oh, okay, cool. So it just activated before there was any long menu to go through. Oh yeah, this is on iOS 3.1.3 because you weren't able to move icons way back then. So yeah, 3.1.3. If this was new with that packaging without the iTunes logo, it would not have any of that.
Yeah.
All right. So that's a dud. That was
3.1.3.
Definitely to pay so much money for something and get ripped off. Pretty great. All right, so that one was a fake, but I still wanted to wrap this video up. It is still a special day with just some highlights of the iPhone from back in the day, and I want to compare it to the original iPhone here. So this is the original iPhone on its iOS 1.0 firmware. As you guys know, I did this video a while ago, downgraded it through several processes to iOS 1.0, or it was even called something different. It was iPhone OS 1.0 back then. And you could not swipe through pages.
Apparently that was the very first original version of iPhone OS.
There was so much missing here. But you still had YouTube. You can connect to Wi-Fi.
Which, if you look at that, it doesn't even have the iTunes
There's no
icon.
spotlight search. And let's jump in here just to show you I'm on 1.0. Oh, wow. And this used to have a usage. Oh yeah, a separate tab for usage. I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. About iPhone OS 1.0. How crazy is that? Only certain iPhones that actually released with iOS or iPhone OS 1 are able to be downgraded, so you can't just downgrade any original iPhone. But it's pretty cool the fact that that's even possible. Everything was so simple. You had almost no settings in here. Kind of crazy. On the other hand, here we have iOS 11, 11.4 or 11.3.1. Look at that. How cool is that? There's that tribute case. So 11 years, guys. This thing started a revolution. Apple's tagline for this iPhone was...
Yeah, of course this running not iPhone OS 1, but it's not the original one, but it's actually more of the later versions of iPhone OS 1's 1.1.5, which I think 1.1.5 that was actually the last version of iPhone OS 1 before they moved on to iPhone OS 2. Which you can see in this version, they did include the iTunes app. Of course, they still didn't have an app store that they didn't come out with until iOS 2 or iPhone OS 2, however you want to call it. And of course, finally, YouTube. Obviously, YouTube doesn't work. As you can see there, can't connect to YouTube. And nothing just remains blank. Nope. Everything's blank. Yeah, so that of course don't work either. So yep. So yep, of course, even if you try to load up the even if you try to load up the YouTube website on here, you'll just get that message there. It'll just keep closing. You know, it never finish loading it. So it's obviously not able to load YouTube. Try it again. Yeah, you get that error. And of course it tries to load it and nope. It'll just keep crashing, keep closing it out. So yeah guys, this is iPhone OS 1.1.5. So final conclusion, you know, is the first generation iPod Touch from 2007, is it still usable in 2020? Well, yes and no. I could say yes, you know, if you want to strictly use it as a music player, you know, as a home music player or something like that, then yeah, it still does work just fine as a regular iPod. However, you can forget about trying to do any kind of internet task, you know. This can theoretically connect to the internet, but however, it's so ancient, you know, like a dinosaur, that you're not going to be able to do any modern internet task on this whatsoever. You know, not like you could on an iPhone 5S. See, just by comparison. Just by comparison, this iPhone is running iOS 12.4.5, which even that's not the latest version. You know, Apple, I'm sure, already came out with iOS 13. But you know, at least on this, you can still do any kind of modern internet tasks. You know, it'll still run any of the latest apps. You know, it still has plenty of app support. They put a lot of weird stuff on Facebook. I don't know why. Yeah. So yeah. You know, even YouTube loads just fine on it. It'll still play back YouTube. Yep. So that's it, you know, it's the iPod Touch first generation. You know, basically extremely basic, you know, everything's so extremely basic compared to today's smartphones. So, I'm gonna finish my video here and have a good night.